My husband was expecting a package, and I just knew it was going to come when I was live, because, of course, right? Um, all right, so we're diving back into my art print show here. So, again, all my art prints are 8 by 10 prints that have been signed and matted to fit a standard 11 by 14 inch frame. Uh, so you can get them all on paintporium.com/print show. All right, so we're going to dive right in. We are on number 16, and we're talking about my embedded series. So they're 3D items that have been added to my canvases in some way. And so I have another Matchbox car piece here, and this one is called Donut. Basically, again, stole one of my son's Matchbox cars and added that to the canvas here, and added kind of that fiery smoke exhaust behind it. Basically, I tell my son anything that he doesn't use in like a year is fair game for me to make art with. So it kind of encourages him to play with, all of his things, but at the same time, it kind of helps give new life to some of the stuff that he doesn't use anymore. So again, that one's my donut piece. It's number 16 on my live art show page, which is paintporium.com/print show. All right, let's see. I'm going to skip to number 18 and then go back to 17 because 18 kind of goes along with the, I'm stealing my son's toys. In this case, it's Lego. So I grabbed 4 Lego here, and I wanted to make them look like they were melting into the canvas. So I kind of propped some of them up and tilted some of them. This was another one that was really, really popular at art fairs, and it ended up selling the first day that I had it out on display. So I think the nostalgia is there for Lego. Probably also helps that there's the Lego Master reality show where they have to build with Lego. Yeah. So this one is titled Melty, and it's number 18 on that live art show page that I've got. It also has been signed in the corner, and it's an 8 by 10 print, matted, so that it fits kind of a standard 11 by 14 inch frame. Assuming that you want to frame it. You don't have to. Personal preference, I think. All right, so like I said, I'm going to go back to number 17. For whatever reason, I think I've developed kind of this weird obsession with skulls and how to incorporate them into my art. So this one is very subtle but kind of creepy at the same time. So this one, I ended up creating a skull out of modeling paste, and this was actually significantly harder than I expected it to be. And then once I had that and it dried, modeling paste tends to dry clear, so I had to paint it. And I also added a little bit of white in places because I felt like it was just a little too subtle. And I don't really anticipate people kind of, touching all of my art. But, just in case, I added kind of the highlight on the nose and kind of the brow as well. And then I painted the rest of the canvas black and added that, colorful spray kind of coming out of its mouth. Kind of like, I don't know, dragon's breath almost. So again, this one I've signed in the bottom corner here. And it's 8 by 10, matted, obviously, and fits a standard size frame. which is 11 by 14. All right, so my next set of prints here are my embellishments. So basically, whenever I pour, I tend to kind of take a look at it after it dries and kind of ask myself, what do I see? Sometimes it's more obvious than others. Other times, I don't know. I like the pour as it is, and so I don't really do anything with it. So the next few are pieces that I definitely saw something in, and I wanted to kind of bring those out a little bit. So this first one is my Dart Frog Knight. I basically saw this kind of as a log here, and I added kind of a frog, and I really liked this little moon here that kind of happened on its own, and I just kind of highlighted that with a little bit of white paint and added a few stars on the top just to kind of make it feel like, maybe this gold was like Northern Lights almost. So that one is my Dart Frog Knight. Again, it's an 8 by 10 matted. It is signed down here in a gold marker. And this one is number 19. All right, so my next two kind of go together. So I've got, basically, I was looking for a way to, I don't know, kind of incorporate ostriches or birds in some way. So for this one, I really liked kind of how round it was, but I needed to add something to it. So I added a beak and the eyes and eyelashes. So this one is number 20, and it's called Feeling Cute, because I feel like, it's kind of the glamorous bird of the two. And then the other one that kind of goes alongside that is my husband and I call it the snarky bird because it looks like it's got a lot of attitude. So this one is called Bitch Please because, sometimes. So this one, it's a little less round, a little more kind of in your face. So yeah, I added the beak again and the eyes. I feel like these two kind of side by side would be really kind of fun in a room. So this one, my snarky bird here is number 21. So same thing, they're both 8 by 10s that have been matted. So they're a little bit bigger now. They're 11 by 14 in the mat. So my next one, number 22, is my succulent number 2. So this one, I did the base pour and I wasn't really, I liked parts of it. I really liked kind of this blue and orange kind of combination here. And I really wanted to kind of highlight some of that while kind of adding some more detail and things to areas that I didn't really like. So I made it into a succulent. So basically just kind of created each individual petal after it had dried. So this one, the original was a square. It was a 12 by 12 square. So I had to kind of crop it a little bit in order to kind of get the standard 8 by 10 print size so that I could mat it. Makes it easier to travel with a whole bunch of prints when they're all the same size. All right, so number 23 is my golden turtle. I'm not sure exactly why I saw this gold part here and I thought turtle, but that's just what it screamed to me. I think it was probably this part here. It looked like kind of that turtle arm, wing. I'm going to go arm. So I kind of added those details. So the gold is really all of kind of the shell and the arms. The head really doesn't have a whole lot of gold in it, but I'm okay with that. And then I added in kind of these black, kind of shadowy, far away turtles as well. So it's kind of like a green sea, scene. So golden turtle, number 23 on my art show page, which again, that's paintquarium.com/print show. Because of course, all of today, I'm focusing on the prints that I have in stock right now. So if you find something that you like, please feel free to visit that website because you will find the ones that you like and probably some more. All right, so number 24 is my red tree. This one I really liked because I did see that tree trunk first. And I felt like this was kind of a very, maybe like a Van Gogh kind of moon. So I wanted to kind of have that be kind of one of the focal points. So then I added kind of this little girl on the swing set there, kind of looking at the moon. The top part was rather hard to make the branches kind of work out with the tree line, so I had to kind of work on those a little bit. But again, this one is my red tree. So it's number 24. All right. Next is another embellishment that I did, and this one will be the last one of my embellishments. So this one is my colorful kitty, and I envision this to be a cat, but a lot of people have said that it looks like other animals. Like some people have said that it looks, I don't know, like they look like dragon eyes until they see the nose, or somebody thought it was an owl at one point until they saw the nose. So it's an interesting experiment in kind of a what do you see in this piece. So this one's number 25, my colorful kitty. It's that 8x10 print, matted, signed down here in the corner. I know I signed it in black, so it's kind of hard to see. But it's down there. And it fits that standard 11x14 inch frame. All right, so the next few pieces that I have, I think I've got maybe 5, 6 pieces that have just been fluid art pieces that I liked kind of as is, and so I kept them that way. So this piece I've called Pink Floral because I tend to see kind of this flowery shape. So if this area up here was kind of the center of the flower, there would be a bunch of flower petals down here. And kind of this dark area here to me looks a little bit like a stem, and maybe there's like a leaf right here and down here. So that's why it's called that. So again, this one's signed as well. So this one's number 26. I've only got 2 copies of this one. My mother-in-law claimed the original of that one, so I get to see that when I go visit. My next one is number 27. And this one is my fantasy flower. Because again, I kind of see these flower petal kind of shapes. So hence the name, fantasy flower. I guess you could also say that maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe a butterfly or a fairy and there's a wing. I don't know. What do you see in this one? I'm curious. So this one again, Fantasy Flower, number 27. All right. My next one here is essentially one of the first very big paintings that I ended up doing. So this one was, I think, a 40-inch by 25-inch painting. So it took, I think, 6 full solo cups of paint in order to actually cover the whole canvas, which is a lot of paint. So it actually is mostly blue, white. There's a little bit of black in here and some gold in there as well. And this one I've signed down here in gold. But you can actually hang this one any way you'd like. I mean, aside from my signature, that's literally the only thing that's kind of determining which way to hang it. I kind of like it this orientation, but other people, they like it different ways. So I'll leave that up to you. So again, this one is Waves. It's number 28. And I've got 2 of these in stock. All right. So the next one is my Delicate Flowers. And this one, my bag has a slight scratch on it. Excuse me. So my Delicate Flowers, I basically painted my canvas black first, and then after seeing a bunch of different paint techniques related to fluid painting, I saw a lot of people doing like these ball chain pull pieces, and I kind of liked that. But of course, I didn't have any ball chain to actually pull. So I ended up using like nylon thread instead, because I also crochet from time to time. So I had some nylon thread around. So I used what I had. So I kind of created some S's and some different shapes and kind of pulled. So I created this, I don't know, this piece reminds me very similar of like just a couple strands of flowers. And I really liked how delicate and fragile it looked, which is why I left it kind of mostly black, because I felt like it highlighted that sentiment of fragility. So we've got that one. So that one's number 29. So we're moving right along. I think I've got 38 total. All right. So my next piece is Under the Water. So this one is number 30. This one, I just really felt like it's kind of this underwater scene, and how like the darker colors are kind of further down in the ocean, but then you might have kind of these waves that kind of go through there. So I really just gravitated to like that water theme. Plus blue is my favorite color, so you'll find it a lot in my work. It's supposed to be calming. Yeah, it is what it is. So again, this one is mostly shades of blue. There's a little bit of green and some gold through there as well, but it's mostly shades of blue. So again, this one's my Under the Water. This one's number 30. All right. So this one is one of the first pieces that I've done that I just really liked. I liked how bright it was. I liked kind of the pattern that it created. And then I also liked there's kind of this like diamond, like gem shape kind of in the middle to kind of solidify everything. So this one is my rainbow flower. So it's number 31. And this one I created by using a kitchen sink strainer and fluid paint. So this one has, I think I was going for mostly primary colors, kind of trying to create kind of like a rainbow effect. So that's kind of how it turned out when it goes through the kitchen sink strainer, just kind of spreads. All right, 32. We're getting close to the end. So this one is my space number 2. And for this one, I basically hand painted the background to kind of create a very subtle galaxy night sky kind of look. So I've got some, stars back there. It's kind of bright through the middle here. I know it's hard to tell, but it's there. And then I added some paint skin circles to kind of be those planets, and it actually helps to make it feel a lot more 3D because you get kind of the actual shadow. I did add, some shadow on there as well, and some highlights on each planet, but for the most part, a lot of the shadows just kind of added to it. So I really liked this one. So I've got, this big planet here all the way down to, I've got a bunch of little planets that are supposed to be, way far away. So space number 2, number 32. I like when that happens, when the numbers kind of match up. All right. The next portion, and I think through the end, it's less pouring pour painting techniques and more just hand painting and more intuitive painting. So next couple pieces I have are my abstract pieces. So this one is my abstract number 1. So for this one, I just really wanted to kind of experiment with color. So I just kind of went in adding a bunch of color everywhere, trying to keep my brush strokes more square and more linear. So I really don't have any curves in this piece. It's really more linear. And then when I add to it, I then have this phase where I have to kind of tone it down because it ends up being, I don't know, it goes through like an ugly phase. Or, I like to refer to it as like the awkward teenage years of my painting, where I'm like, I don't know if I really like it. So then I had to tone it down quite a bit. So like there's areas here where you can kind of see through a layer of paint because I was trying to tone it down with kind of a blue-gray, a really light neutral color, which kind of helps pull it together, I think. So again, this one is abstract number 1, number 33 on my live art show page, paintporium.com/print show. All right, so my next abstract piece is abstract number 2. So this one, again, I was kind of playing with color, and essentially I started with kind of a pink and a teal, and I think maybe a darker blue. And I just started mixing colors just to kind of see what would happen, and kind of layering paint on top of paint on top of paint. And so I really liked how kind of blending the colors together to create different versions of the same color, or of, a slightly modified version, really makes it kind of more cohesive. And so I really liked how this one felt when it was finished. So like none of the colors are really the same. So like this shade of blue and this shade of blue, they're close, but they're not exactly the same. Same thing with like these two blues. The pinks are all slightly different shades. So it makes it feel a little bit more, cohesive. So abstract number 2, number 34 on my page there. All right, couple more, and then we're done. All right, so this one is my floral field. It's number 35. So this one, again, was one of my pieces where I was really just kind of feeling my way through it. I started out with the background and eventually decided I needed some leaves. And so I added, a bunch of different kinds of leaves. I then went in with some ink pens and gel pens to add some like finer details. So, some of the shadowing kind of on the inside of the leaves, and around the outside of the leaves as well. So again, my floral field, number 35. All right, 3 more. All right, so this one is my Galaxy in a Jar. This one, I've got 2 copies left. It's number 36. So this one, I ended up painting a galaxy for a background, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it from there. I didn't want to do planets because I had already done planets. And so I ended up coming up with this idea of having a jar, and then you can kind of see through the jar. And so I added, the jar and the grass underneath there as well in black. So again, this one's my Galaxy in a Jar. I think I've also done this one for like a paint night, paint party kind of deal, which if you're interested in, let me know and we can get some on the schedule. Number 37 is our glasses. I am not much of a wine drinker, or I'm not much of a, alcohol drinker anyway. But I really like wine glasses and the drinks that alcohol, like the glassware. That's what I'm looking for, the glassware that you would find. And so that's kind of why I kind of gravitated towards some of those shapes for this particular piece. So this one is number 37, and it's called Our Glasses. All right, the last one that I have for today is my glass game. I used to love playing chess. I don't know if anybody else is kind of as geeky as I am, but my glass game, there's just something about like a good chess set that's just really, it just feels good. Even though I'm usually terrible at chess, but it's beside the point. So this one, I ended up kind of creating that that checkerboard pattern, and I knew that I wanted something game related, and so I was kind of experimenting with, well, how would these look if they were made of glass. So then I kind of added those in there, and I just kind of loved it. It was really challenging to kind of make the checkerboard kind of look like it's going through, or not really through, but that you could see the checkerboard through the pieces. That was really kind of the challenging part. So again, this one is my glass game, number 38. It is also signed down here. It's signed in black again. I really got to switch that up. So I might re-sign this one so that you can actually see it. But all of my pieces are signed. They're all 8x10 prints that have been matted onto white mat board. I can remove this. So it's white mat boards. You've got that backing. So you really don't need a frame in theory. You can kind of lean it up, prop it up on an easel, or just kind of command strip it up on the wall if you wanted to. But they fit a standard 11 by 14 inch frame. So any of the prints you pick up today will fit kind of the standard frame. It'll be easy to find frames for them if you want to frame them. Let's see. The other thing that I wanted to mention is if you purchase 2 or more prints, I am throwing in an extra sticker pack for you. These are also on my print show page, and they come with 4 of my die cut stickers, so that you can kind of decorate your water bottle or laptop. A lot of kids like to put them on their faces or like their hand. I know that's what my son usually does. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're interested in purchasing any of my prints, the link to do so will be in the description of my video here. If you're on Instagram, it'll be in my bio. But it's paintporium.com/print show. All right. Well, thank you so much again for joining me. And if there's anything that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love hearing from people and just kind of geeking out about my art. So feel free to reach out. All right. I will see you later.